Boys, I uploaded today already, I know, but we got a new 1.0 design thread. These came out a long time ago, and we're finally getting some more of them, and this one is so interesting because it's about RNG and combat. We just got the new RNG meter system added to Skyblock, and they want to talk about more things related to that, and the combat stuff that we're getting is absolutely absurd. So we're doing another forum post reading video. I know 2 in a row is kind of cringe, but this one is absolutely something that I want to go over. So after a long hiatus, they're back. They're going to do some more 1.0 design threads, and these things are going to be released in the next few weeks, months, bit by bit. We're going to get this stuff. Most of the 1.0 design thread stuff is not actually for the 1.0 update as a whole. It's for the road to 1.0, and this stuff is insane. So first, let's look at RNG, everyone's favorite topic, randomness. Skyblock has just so much RNG in it. Like Phoenix pets are 1 in 20 million from any mod. RNG is something that they like in Skyblock, but they also don't like when people have bad RNG. RNG creates supply and demand. Another characteristic is the excitement of obtaining something rare. If you go back in my videos and watch my first drop of a Reaper Scythe, oh my gosh, I was so hyped. But what are the problems with RNG in Skyblock? First, it isn't completely fair. Let's take the example of a core gameplay item having a 1 in 1,000 chance to drop. On average, people are going to obtain it 1 time in every 1,000 tries, and that seems fair, but it can be a bit annoying when some people get better luck or worse luck. Some players get really lucky and get it on their first attempt. Those people save 999 tries, which is the best outcome. But then they mention a player named Bob. Bob is unlucky, and it took him 5,000 attempts to get his 1 in 1,000 drop. It took him 4,000 more tries than expected, and that's bad. So they're going to add more limits on how unlucky players can get. We see exactly this in the new RNG meter. The RNG meter is fully built to guarantee you your item at a certain percent and just stop you from grinding past that, because it can be really, really annoying when you get that bad RNG. They aim to present goals better through the progression and provide players with a maximum time frame in which they're going to meet their goals. I love this next part right here because they say another reason why we're working towards changing the RNG is the growing number of Iron Man players, who are now in the 7% of the player base. Obviously, they don't want to design the game around Iron Man, but they still very much care about those freaks and psychopaths playing it, and they are the major recipient of the frustration. Finally, they're perfectly aware that it's going to increase the amount of rare items in the game. To be completely fair, on the release of the game, there wasn't enough long-term content for players to keep playing, so they made things grindable and RNG heavy, but now they are satisfied with the amount of time it takes to play through Skyblock, and they want to make sure that people aren't struggling with terrible RNG. So they're going to spend more time working on one-time content and reduce the total amount of time it takes to complete each instance of grindable content. In other words, they believe the game is going to be a lot better if it takes you less time to obtain the Slayer items you need. Now on to some big boy news. Combat. Combat's the biggest skill in Skyblock. Ever since the release, they have been theory crafting improvements to the combat system, and one of their conclusions is that classes, in the general sense of the term, would not be a great addition to the main game. However, they are going to add masteries, each representing a different style of combat in the game, such as melee combat, archery, and magic. You're going to be able to choose and join any of those 3 schools and progress in them. Think of it like a Heart of the Mountain, but for combat. You're going to be able to swap through them and complete them all, but only one will be active at the same time. Those skill trees are going to be focused on implementing mechanics that enable different types of gameplay, so while they don't want to add classes to the game, you're still going to be able to specialize into a melee healer if you feel like it. Furthermore, deep inside those masteries, players will be able to select unique sub-masteries that unlock different skill trees. For example, archery might lead to the ninja, marksman, and ranger sub-masteries. We hope to achieve an interesting learning curve and some fun theory crafting. This is nuts. This adds so much more variety to Skyblock, because right now it's kind of like get one build and use it, because things like magic aren't really used outside of dungeons and maybe the Crimson Isle because you aren't able to use them and there's not really much specialization going into them. When it comes to combat, you get your Necron armor, you get your Crimson armor, whatever your highest possible thing is, and you just have the stuff, you have the stats, and that's pretty much it. Now we're going to see something where people are actually able to have different builds because you could be a ranger while your teammate is a ninja who has absurd damage in his own right, but he doesn't have the same kind of build that you have because of your perks. I am so hyped for this one specifically, just because I love seeing different build crafting opportunities in Skyblock. I hate how linear everything has gotten, and seeing it being able to split out into these different kind of builds and maybe promote something more like a mage setup or a melee healer setup like they mentioned, that's just going to be so much more fun, and that's what they're doing to combat. Lastly, they talk about healing because they added a bunch of healing tools throughout Skyblock, and you can get healed super duper fast via a lot of things right now. Vampirism, lifesteal, zombie swords, regen potions, deployables, Hyperion, all of these heal people super duper quick. And that makes it much harder for them to make difficult content because they have to increase the damage so high, which is why at any stage of the game, you're getting one shot by enemies still. Look at like Enderman. Whenever you have no healing for like a second, you just get ticked down so fast because of how high the damage has gotten. So in the next few months, they're going to try something on the Alpha Network. They're going to nerf the damage of enemies across the whole game, and they're also going to nerf all healing options. The goal is to achieve the same difficulty level, except your health is going to go down slower and heal back up, giving you more time to react. If that doesn't work, they aren't going to release it to the live server, but they're going to be experimenting with different healing nerfs, and no, it won't include nerfs to the healer dungeon class. So all 3 healer players, you're fine. They're not nerfing you. So the TLDR of this 1.0 thread is systems similar to the RNG meter are going to be added to more parts of the game. Combat's going to have 3 masteries, melee, ranged, and magic. Masteries are similar to Heart of the Mountain, but for each type of combat, you're going to be able to select sub-masteries at the end of each skill tree, and they plan on nerfing the damage of all enemies in the game and nerf various means of healing. That's it for this thread. They said that the next 1.0 design thread is going to be the last of the 1.0 design threads. We have no idea when that one is going to come out, but going into the survey that they have just to look at this stuff, what is your opinion on RNG? They ask how lucky you are in Skyblock, if you like the RNG meter changes, what did you think of the mastery suggestions, are you excited for the nerfs to monster damage, and are you more of a cat person or a dog person? I'm definitely a dog person. So this thread is super hype. It's actually not that bulky of a thread, but just these combat masteries are going to add a huge amount of variety to the game that I'm just so excited to delve into. I hope that this one comes out sooner rather than later. If I have to wait like 8 months to see my combat masteries, I'm going to be sad because I just want to become the best mage in the world. I want to have my magic damage super specified. I want to just nuke things with massive AoE, and that seems like something that you're going to be able to do. So let me know down below what you guys think about this 1.0 thread. I'm so glad to see these come back because the 1.0 design threads are some of the best talks about Skyblock and the best future things that we're going to see in the world, and I just love seeing them. So I can't wait to see the next one. I'll definitely record a video and upload it then, but that's going to be it for this one. I hope it kept you informed, and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.